The situation inside the building at Thousand Oaks is reaching a fever pitch right now because the front office is looking at a massive puzzle that doesn't have an easy solution yet. We are talking about the most important position on the field and a vacuum of talent that could jeopardize everything the team is building for the next few years. Sources are indicating that the strategy for the upcoming cycle is shifting dramatically behind closed doors. You need to stay until the very end because this involves a calculated gamble. Please subscribe and hit the like button now. Matthew Stafford is the undisputed leader of this franchise and remains the confirmed starter as we look toward the 2026 season. But the real story is the silence right behind him on the depth chart. The Los Angeles Rams are currently staring at a critical vacancy at the backup quarterback position that has the entire front office debating their next move. After seeing how the rotation functioned previously, there is a growing realization that the safety net is completely gone. This isn't just about finding a guy to hold a clipboard, it is about the long-term viability of Sean McVay's offensive system if the veteran ever has to miss time. The internal scouting reports are coming back with some very troubling data regarding the available options. We are looking at a scenario where the team has a significant gap in draft capital because they are currently missing any selections between the 3rd and 6th rounds in the 2026 draft cycle. This lack of mid-round assets creates a nightmare for a team that traditionally loves to find value in those spots. To make matters even more complicated, the internal consensus among draft experts is that the 2026 quarterback class is looking incredibly shallow with very few prospects, showing the traits necessary to thrive in this complex scheme. Les Snead and Sean McVay are now forced to weigh the risks of reaching for a developmental player versus spending precious cap space on a proven veteran who can keep the ship afloat. They are prioritizing system knowledge and immediate reliability above all else because they know this roster is built to win right now, and they cannot afford a single season of regression due to poor play at the backup spot. The pressure is mounting to make a definitive choice before the market shifts, and the team is left with nothing but scraps. If they panic and overreach early in the draft, they might compromise other vital needs on the defensive side of the ball. The strategy is moving toward a specific type of acquisition that will change how the room looks entirely. And it all starts with a major name that was expected to be the solution, but might now be part of the past. Do you think the front office should trust a rookie or go for a veteran? This decision will define the next 3 years of Rams football. Drop your thoughts in the comments below. We need to know if you trust the process or if you are worried about the depth. Jimmy Garoppolo was brought in to provide that veteran stability, but his departure has left a hole that is much larger than people realize when you look at the day-to-day operations of the quarterback room. The team is now scanning the horizon for someone who mimics that level of experience without the heavy price tag that often comes with established names. There is a very specific profile they are searching for, and the options are dwindling as other teams lock up their own insurance policies. Insider reports suggest that the Rams are looking at a list of free agents who have previous experience in the Shanahan-McVay coaching tree, because the learning curve for this offense is notoriously steep. They don't want a project, they want a professional who can step in on week 4 and run the operation without the playbook being shrunk down to 10 plays. This search is being complicated by the projected depth of the 2027 draft class, which is viewed as a gold mine compared to the 2026 group. The front office is essentially playing a game of bridge where they need a 1-year stopgap that doesn't break the bank while they wait for the real successor to become available. If they miss on this veteran signing, they might be forced to use one of their few early picks on a quarterback, which would be a total departure from their current philosophy of building through elite talent at other positions. The coaching staff is incredibly protective of the current playoff window, and they know that one injury to the starter without a viable backup could result in a lost year for stars like Cooper Kupp and Puka Nacua. The conversations happening in the scouting department are focused on finding a diamond in the rough, or a veteran looking for a career resurgence in Los Angeles. They are looking at every possible angle, including potential trades for disgruntled backups on other rosters. The reality is that the Rams have built a culture of excellence, and they cannot afford to let the quarterback room become a liability. The tension between the short-term need for a backup and the long-term goal of finding a franchise heir is creating a fascinating dynamic within the organization as they prepare for the next phase of the off-season roster building process. The impact of this decision ripples through every department of the Los Angeles Rams organization because it signals exactly how they view their remaining championship window. When you look at the cap floor, And the way Les Snead has managed the draft picks, it becomes clear that they are in a high-stakes poker game with the rest of the league. By choosing to wait until 2027 for a long-term successor, they are essentially betting that Matthew Stafford will remain elite and healthy for the next 24 months. This is a massive gamble given the physical toll the game has taken on the veteran. If they decide to sign a veteran instead of drafting a rookie, they are prioritizing the present over the future in a way that suggests they believe this current core is just one or two pieces away from another Super Bowl run. However, the lack of mid-round picks in 2026 means they have almost zero margin for error. They cannot afford to miss on a veteran signing because they won't have the assets to trade for a replacement mid-season without mortgaging the future even further. The future of the franchise depends on this transition being seamless. We are seeing a shift in how Sean McVay approaches the backup role, where he is no longer looking for a young player to mold, but rather a peer for Stafford who can contribute to the game planning process. This technical analysis shows that the Rams are moving toward a model of stability rather than development. This choice impacts the defense too, because every dollar spent on a backup quarterback is a dollar not spent on the pass rush or the secondary. The front office is calculating the cost of insurance versus the cost of improvement. In the coming months, we should expect to see the Rams linked to several high-profile veteran backups as they try to solidify the roster before the draft kicks off. This is about protecting the investment in the starters and ensuring that the team remains a contender in the NFC regardless of the circumstances. The road ahead is narrow, and the front office is walking a tightrope between immediate success and long-term sustainability for the franchise. Ultimately, what we are seeing is the evolution of the Rams' philosophy as they navigate the twilight of a legendary era while trying to avoid a total rebuild. This isn't just a personnel move, it is a statement about the identity of the team under Sean McVay. They are refusing to settle for mediocrity, and they are unwilling to reach for a quarterback just because the calendar says they should. They are waiting for the right moment and the right player, even if it means taking a significant risk in the short term. For the fans, this means another season of high-wire acts and intense focus on the health of the roster. It shows a front office that is confident in its ability to find value where others see a vacuum. The meaning behind this strategy is clear. They believe their system and their culture can overcome a lack of traditional draft assets. If they are right, they will bridge the gap to the next franchise quarterback without ever having to suffer through a losing season. If they are wrong, the fallback plan is non-existent. This is the drama of the NFL at its highest level, where a single decision about a backup can change the trajectory of a decade. We are watching a masterclass in roster manipulation and risk management. The question that remains for every member of the Rams house is whether you believe this gamble is worth the potential reward of one more trophy in the building. Will this patience pay off, or will the lack of a clear successor haunt the team when they least expect it? The stakes could not be higher for Les Snead and his staff as they navigate this shallow quarterback market. Make sure you stay tuned to this channel as we track every single phone call and meeting during this critical period. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel for more exclusive insights from inside the building that you won't find anywhere else. We are just getting started with this off-season coverage. Horns up, and we will see you in the next update as the path forward becomes clear for our Los Angeles Rams.